When people talk about celebrity co-parenting in Hollywood, one of the first names that always comes up is Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. And honestly, it makes sense. Over the years, fans have watched their relationship evolve from a Hollywood romance into something way more grounded. Two parents trying to raise their kids while living under a microscope. What makes their story so interesting is that neither Ben nor Jennifer has handled parenting the exact same way. Jennifer often comes across as the steady, everyday parent, the one doing school runs, handling routines, and keeping life normal. Ben, meanwhile, has had very public ups and downs. But people have also seen some genuinely emotional moments where he clearly tries hard to stay connected to his children. So, if we're doing a real deep dive, the conversation isn't really about who's the better parent. It's more about how differently they show up and the moments that shaped public perception of both of them. Okay, we need to talk about something Hollywood honestly does not get enough credit for, and that is successful co-parenting after divorce. Because let's be real, most celebrity breakups turn into chaos. Messy interviews, public shade, passive-aggressive Instagram posts, lawyers everywhere. But somehow Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner managed to turn one of Hollywood's most talked-about divorces into something surprisingly mature. And over the years, fans started noticing something fascinating. Ben and Jennifer actually parent very differently. Jennifer gives organized soccer mom energy. Ben gives emotionally present but chaotic dad energy. And somehow it works. Today, let's look into how both of them bonded with their kids over the years. The moments where one parent had to carry the load alone, the times they stepped up together, and why the internet seems emotionally attached to this family even years after the divorce. Because honestly, the public has basically watched these kids grow up in real time. Let's start with Jennifer. Because for years, the public image around her was very clear. Jennifer was the consistent parent, like almost aggressively consistent. While Ben was filming movies, dealing with career pressure, or facing very public struggles with addiction and rehab, Jennifer became the parent people constantly saw doing regular mom things. School pickups, church outings, farmers markets, coffee runs, walking the kids to activities. There were entire periods where paparazzi photos basically made Jennifer look like a full-time single mom. And honestly, a lot of fans started respecting her for that because she never really tried to turn motherhood into a Hollywood performance. She always looked normal. Not celebrity normal, like actual normal. Hair tied back, jeans, sneakers, trying to get kids into the car. And during Ben's hardest periods, especially around rehab and personal struggles, Jennifer was very clearly the parent keeping the family structure together. There's one thing people forget. Even after the divorce, Jennifer still supported Ben publicly when it came to the kids. That mattered because there were moments she could have completely shut him out, and she didn't. She still made space for him to be their father. And a lot of people think that's one reason their co-parenting survived Hollywood. Now, let's talk about Ben because this is where the story gets more emotional. Ben Affleck has always come across like a deeply emotional father and honestly, sometimes almost vulnerable around his kids. You can tell he genuinely wants their approval and affection. There are so many moments over the years where fans noticed how physically affectionate he is with them, hugging them, laughing with them, walking closely beside them, carrying backpacks, pulling them into conversations, especially with Samuel. People online constantly point out that Ben seems happiest when he's in dad mode. And interestingly, some of Ben's strongest parenting moments happened after his personal struggles became public. Because once he started openly talking about addiction, recovery, and wanting to be a better father, fans started seeing him differently. Instead of messy Hollywood actor, people started seeing someone actively trying. There were periods where Ben handled school pickups himself, took the kids on outings alone, attended sports events, and really seemed focused on rebuilding trust and consistency. And honestly, some fans connected to that because it felt human, not perfect, human. You could see effort. Now, this is where the comparison becomes impossible to ignore. There were absolutely periods where Jennifer carried more parental responsibility publicly, especially during the years Ben was struggling personally. When Ben entered rehab, Jennifer became the emotional shield for the entire family. And people still remember those photos of her helping him during difficult moments, while also protecting the kids from media chaos. That changed public perception of her forever because suddenly Jennifer wasn't just Ben Affleck's wife. She became viewed as strong, patient, protective, and honestly incredibly emotionally disciplined. While Hollywood marriages around them were exploding publicly, Jennifer kept things surprisingly private and respectful, even when she probably had every reason not to. And during those years, Fans noticed Jennifer almost never looked off duty as a parent. She was always there. School events, holiday outings, routine activities. The stability mostly came through her. But to be fair to Ben Affleck, there were also major moments where people felt he truly stepped up emotionally as a father, especially after the divorce. One thing people noticed is that Ben never seemed disconnected from the kids after the marriage ended. Some celebrity dads disappear into new life mode. Ben didn't really do that. Even during career chaos, relationships, and media scandals, he still seemed deeply tied to his children emotionally. There were countless paparazzi moments where he looked genuinely engaged with them, not just posing for cameras, talking, listening, laughing, and fans especially reacted strongly anytime the kids looked comfortable around him. Because children usually reveal the real story. If kids seem relaxed, affectionate, and happy around a parent consistently, people notice that. And with Ben, despite all the public struggles, the bond always looked real. Now, this is the part that fascinates Hollywood watchers the most. The moments where Ben and Jennifer came together as a parenting team. Because even after divorce, they kept having these surprisingly united family moments. Birthday parties, school functions, holiday gatherings, graduation events, family walks. And every single time it happened, the internet reacted like, wait, are they getting back together? But honestly, most of the time it just looked like two parents choosing peace for their children. And that's rare in Hollywood. There were moments where Jennifer clearly included Ben, even when it would have been easier not to. And there were moments Ben publicly praised Jennifer as a mother. That mutual respect became a huge reason fans stayed emotionally invested in them, because people could see the effort, not romantic effort, parental effort. And in celebrity culture, that's honestly refreshing. What's interesting is that different audiences connect to Ben and Jennifer for different reasons. People who love Jennifer usually admire her consistency. She represents stability, maturity, patience, and emotional control. Meanwhile, people who connect with Ben often relate to imperfection, redemption, and emotional vulnerability. Jennifer feels dependable. Ben feels humanly flawed. And together, weirdly enough, that balance may have helped their kids more than they realize, because even though the marriage ended, the parenting partnership never fully collapsed. That's the real story here. At the end of the day, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's parenting journey feels relatable to people because it doesn't look perfect. It looks real. There were hard seasons, uneven seasons, moments where one parent carried more weight, moments where the other tried to rebuild trust and connection. But through all of it, their kids always stayed at the center of the story. And honestly, in Hollywood, that alone is rare. So now, I want to know what you think. Do you think Jennifer was always the stronger parental figure? Or do you think Ben deserves more credit for the emotional bond he clearly has with his kids? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.